This thing going. Excellent. Welcome, guys. Listen, welcome each and every one of you guys logged into our Sunday night vision mastery call. What's going on, Coach AB? I see Coach Catherine and Sid. What's going on, Cedric Snyder? I see you over there, bruh. What's going on, Miss Peggy Saunders and Miss Cohort and of course Miss Butler and Miss Elin and Miss Woods and Miss Moore. Everyone else I see online, I see a dozen of you guys plus was 20, 25, 20, 25, 30 people. Plus, we got people on Instagram, people on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome to each and every one of you guys who logged onto our Sunday night vision mastery call. We do this call each and every Sunday because this is a great space and time for people to grow themselves when it comes to personal development, personal coaching, all the things that we do in this space right here. Because as we know, as entrepreneurs, our next space is developing the right mindset for resilience. And there's a lot of things that can build resiliency, right? But a lot of times that resiliency comes when it comes to building, it comes from, of course, our thinking about a thing. Many times I'll say that the quality of our lives is it really depends and based on the meaning that we give to a thing. So because the quality of our life is determined on that meaning we give to a thing is what it means to us when certain things happen. And I know when things start to happen, our thinking can actually throw us off, can change our perspective, put us into a downward spiral. And now we can't never really bounce back because we've been thinking about the wrong thing, the wrong way, upside down, all types of ways that got us where we're twisted, right? So I want to make sure that today, guys, when I have this conversation with you, I want you to know that as a coach, as a life coach to people, as a mentor to people, I got coaching clients that I spend time with, coaching clients that pay handsomely for time. We may meet one time a week or twice a week or so. And we may meet like a 30 minutes to hour, depends. And based off of the level of their coaching fees that they may actually invest, we might do some additional homework and things, emails, and a bunch of things that can happen. But it all actually boils down to a person's thinking. And as a coach that I work with a lot of mindset training and coaching training and even certifications through like Tony Robbins to understand a different way of how I want to work with people. I've also been a coach where I've been studying NLP, and of course, I've studied over the time of being a coach where I'm always talking about being present with a self and being in a present state of mind, being able to calm yourself down to think in the moment so you can actually learn to focus in on what's important at this moment. Because I know our thinking can have us in our imagination, and all of a sudden when we're stretching our imagination past our situation, even I tell people to stretch your imagination past your current situation. Most people can't stretch their imaginations past their current situation because they see with their eyes what's currently happening. And I get it. I know when so many things are happening for us. And many things are happening to us, right? Well, some people say to us, some people say for us. A lot of things are happening. When these things are happening, how our perception of these things can change dramatically, minute by minute, but it also can have crazy outcomes based off of what we do with with the information that we get minute by minute. So I want to focus in on something else that I've learned by also being one of the speakers and trainers through John C. Maxwell's organization, certified coach through that process. Not a coach, but also like a speaker and trainer through his systems as well. And I've gone over the years, I want to become a better version of myself. So even though I was a coach and mentor and just listened to a lot of different people over the years, I actually started going deeper and taking, investing in myself, investing so I can become more, and learning more to be able to understand the psychology of people on a deeper level. But John C. Maxwell talks about some things that I really want you to take some notes on, right? Take some notes on this because I really want to make sure that as we go into this next space of entrepreneurship, next space of developing ourselves and our resiliency, our ability to bounce back and to strengthen our awareness and strengthen ourselves. I want you to know that there's these thinking skills, like these 11 thinking skills that he mentioned them one time before, well, several times before, and I would take notes on it and I would sit back and I reflect on it, right? And in that reflection, it really helped me to pay attention to myself and what's going on in the moment. So write these things down first, and then we'll talk about them, right? The first thing is this: when it comes to these 11 thinking skills, the first one is one, big picture thinking. I want you to write down big picture thinking, right? And then of course, from the big picture thinking, I want you to have focus thinking. number two. The number three is going to be creative thinking. And number four is going to be realistic thinking. And number five is going to be strategic thinking. And number six, possibility thinking. And number seven, reflective thinking. Number eight is popular thinking. Number nine is shared thinking. Number 10 is unselfish thinking. And then, of course, number 11 is bottom line thinking. And I'm going to go into that, but I'm going to give you guys something that I actually took some notes on some years back, right? And let me give it to you in this way. Right? And I'm going to tell you what made it important for me and how I was hearing these things. He said, I want you to see the wisdom in big picture thinking, unleashing the potential of focused thinking, discovering the joy of creative thinking, recognizing the importance of realistic thinking, realizing the power of strategic thinking, feeling the energy of possibility thinking, embracing the lessons of reflective thinking, questioning the acceptance of popular thinking, encouraging the participation of shared thinking, and experiencing the satisfaction of unselfish thinking, and then enjoying the return of bottom line thinking. Now, those are notes that I took years ago when he said it in that way, right? When he said it, I was like, yo, I like the way that is, because it's not just saying focused thinking, unleashing the focused thinking, creative thinking, realistic thinking. It was like really like seeing the wisdom of big picture thinking. And in big picture thinking, there has to be another level of wisdom. See, big picture thinking is really understanding the broader concepts of situations so you can make a well-informed decision. When you develop the ability to foresee potential opportunities and challenges. Now, what's important about that, guys, is when people don't have big picture thinking, they're stuck in the moment. And I get it. I say it many times, and I say it this way. I always say it as one of my quotes, but it also leads me to a level of thinking, right? Because I understand when people don't have big picture thinking. I say it this way. I say, I come from a background of poverty. And when you come from a background of poverty, poverty has its own self-perpetuating logic. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, you don't have long-term goals and thinking. You're thinking about right now, trying to feed my people right now. So the same thing when it comes to the challenge that people going through. You may not come from a background of poverty, but right now your situation can become so dire, so have so much stuff going on, so many things that's weighing you down, that's pushing down your energy, that's pushing down your thinking, your feeling, your vibration. It's changing how you feel. And because of that, guys, when people get into that space, they don't have big picture thinking, but you have to think. You know how we say you have to stretch your imagination past your current situation. You have to see yourself better, see yourself more, see the big picture. So when you see the big picture, you can see potential opportunities. I've learned to pay attention to the subtle nuances that most people overlook. And in paying attention to the subtle nuances, that means when small things show up, I tend to, and again, sometimes it can just be, it may be a feeling, it could be a thought, it could be something that because people, we tend to look for confirmation for things, right? We always say, oh, that you talking about, oh, that's confirmation. But the funny thing is, people will say, oh, that's confirmation for me, but they don't do anything. They'll say it's confirmation, but they don't do anything about what's going on. They'll say it all the time. But for me, myself, I'm so much into like how I look for things. I look for confirmation in a lot of things, again, because again, I look for opportunities. I see potential opportunities. And when I see a potential opportunity in the thing that I'm doing, see, some people think opportunity mean chasing a bunch of different things. Because when you want to change what you're doing and you want to feel good about your change, you try to make yourself believe that you're a jack of all trades, a master of none. Not even your bank account. You're not even mastering your bank account because you're thinking that you heard the phrase multiple streams of income, but most people have multiple trickles. They have trickle over here, trickle over here, trickle over here, and all combined, all your trickles are still not even streaming. So because you don't have big picture thinking, you have not developed the ability to foresee potential opportunities. That means when things are happening right in front of you, you don't foresee the bigger opportunity. You don't foresee what's happening for the next 3, 6, 12 months out. We tell people to focus in for 18 months. And when you're doing something new, newness always gets this new energy. Everything shiny, new object, new something, new relationship, new job, new car, everything new makes you feel some type. We feel great about being new, and it's great when we need to do new projects or new companies or new this and new that. But also the new is also to like renew. And your big picture thinking, I want to get you into the space where you learn to renew your mind. People, when they're in the church, they say it all the time. You have to have a renewing of your mind. That means you don't always have to have a newness of your mind. It has to be a renewing of your mind. But the most of the time, people cannot because of challenges and controversy and things that's happening right now in the moment. And I always say momentum is built moment by moment. What are you going to do with this moment to go in order to propel you to the next moment? How are you going to let these moments in so that you can grow? Most people, when they're going through, they can't build no momentum because they can't foresee potential opportunities. Like myself, I know what we have going on right now in this space and time is the best opportunity. I like being in a space to where I'm not worrying about who else is in it, who else is gone, who else is here. I'm looking to build in what I have in front of me. I have blinders on. I want to focus in because if the things that I recognize in an opportunity, if they all meet the criteria for success, everything else is leadership. People are watching so many other people that they'll start to go, well, evidently I must meant to go do this over here. And it could be. It could be that that's meant for you to do that. It could be. But I also recognize that when you do that, that is this too. You still have to foresee potential opportunities and challenges. You still have to have big picture thinking. So you can't have shiny, new, because everything new, when it's new, we can do a bunch of things when it's brand new. But that's when it comes to focus thinking. Focus thinking is really about concentrate on the specific goals to increase productivity, to increase activity, to increase effectiveness, to eliminate distractions and maintain clarity and direction in your work. That's focus thinking. Focus is putting these blinders on. Yeah, you got big picture thinking. Now you got big picture thinking, focus in. I'm I'm focused in on what I'm doing. Yes, I know. Listen, I got friends and family who are doing a bunch of things. People who you thought would be with you for a lifetime has gone on to do other things, and it's great. It's fine. It don't mean that everybody's your mortal enemy. No. I have a love for those who have decided to do whatever they got to do for themselves. But I also have to have a love for what I decided to do for myself and be focused in and not be watching. So see, unfortunately, most people they'll tell me, well, I'm not having success, but yet they watch. I'm thinking I need to do something different. I see another company. I need to see but what it is, they seeing activity and other things, but they have not seen the big picture for themselves. They have not got focused thinking in on what they're doing. They're watching a bunch of people watching so many lives that they're not even alive in their own business. You're watching so many lives, your own business is not alive. So many lives, your own life is not alive. You feeling like nothing is working, nothing is you're feeling this dread. You're spiraling out of control. You know why? Because you're not concentrating on specific goals to increase productivity and activity and effectiveness in what you have your hands on. We have to produce. Business is production. Everything about your job that you work for your boss's business, you have to produce, whether you have to have a certain amount of phone calls, certain amount of items, certain is production. It's not just showing up just to show up. You have to produce. And because our business is production, It is producing. You have to have focused thinking. But once you eliminate distractions and you can maintain clarity and you can mute things out, sometimes you have to mute people out. Sometimes, and it don't, you ain't mad at nobody. Sometimes you got to mute it out. I hope that they mute me out so they don't be distracted by what I got going on. And now I want people to grow from each other. I don't want to be taking shots. That's what happened. People leave. People start taking shots, little petty shots at everybody because they're trying to manipulate the mindset or the energy or the. And I get it. That's what because we want people to join. But I want new. I want people. I want a renewed. I want a newness of energy and people who don't know nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And to do that, you have to have creative thinking. And remember what I said. I said, seeing the wisdom of big picture thinking, unleashing the potential of focused thinking. So when you have potential, when you see focused thinking provides potential, all right, you have to be potent, all right, you to be have that potential and discovering the joy of creative thinking. Creative thinking encourages innovation, new ideas, perspectives, all these things. That's why when you say you have to have intention to be, you have to have success is an intention. And because you have to intend to become successful, and success is a creation of intention. What do you intend to do? And because creative thinking can build upon your intention, it can encourage innovation. And again, with so many things happening, social media, new ways, new strategies, new apps, there's so many ways that we can actually learn. You got to use creative thinking. But you want to foster an environment where brainstorming, experimentation, all these things are welcome. And I'm in a space right now when they'll say, well, they'll ask me questions. Like I'm building things behind the scenes all the time with people, and they'll ask me questions about what do you think we should do with this and do with this. And I'm like, this is how I traditionally have done things. But I'm also open to seeing how we can incorporate new strategies, new ways, new things that's happening, new communication points, new things that how I can say now listen, I understand that the foundation is still basics, and you have to always understand that inside of anything there's a foundation. And it's kind of like I was watching this comedian, like some people will say, like they'll say, well, you can't keep on blaming everything like on your parents or stuff you have going on. Like people like to say, well, my childhood was like this and this was going on. And I get it. We always tell people you got to grow through these things, right? But as an adult, you shouldn't. But he said, as a comedian, he said when people were saying something about to him about his he had when he was I think he said when he was born, 7 days later his parents had divorced. He said when 7 days later his parents had divorced, he said then he has had things that has been messed up in his life since that time. It was divorce, and then this parent is against that parent saying this over here. So they teaching him over the years. So his foundation was crazy. And said so when people was like, well, you should not, as an adult, you shouldn't let that affect how you move forward. And he said, well, tell me this. He said, how safe would you feel if you're in a building? He said he's like 30, I think 36, 37. He said, if I'm 37 years old, if I'm 37, I'm on the 37th floor and the foundation was shaky, how safe would you feel in that building? So I get how our past, the things that we going through, it can actually have people on shaky ground. It can have people where they feel their foundation is not strong. And at 37 and 47 and 57, sometimes we hold on to so many things that has happened in the past that we can't have creative thinking because we're so bogged down into what was and what happened and what the reason why I'm this way is because. But today's day, people are more in tune with who they are. They're more in tune with having conversations. They're more in tune with being open and being real, being transparent. They're more in tune with seeking counsel and things like that. So people in a different space. And I want you to know that you have to encourage creative thinking amongst yourself, with your organization, with your people. I'm always open to what's new and what we can do to be innovative. I remember, and I always tell a story. I tell the story times. I remember years ago when social media was new, when Facebook and all this stuff was new. I remember myself and my leadership team we was working with. It was network marketing back then too. And I was the top leader in that company as well, working with the CEO as well. And as I was in that space, I remember there was a gentleman, he came to me and my partners, and he was like, we leaders, we top leaders in the company. We have been trained by some of the very best people. And he was like, yeah, man, there's this thing called, social media and Facebook and all this other stuff. And I don't know if it was Facebook. I can't, yeah, Facebook was already had just came out, but they was doing Facebook. They was doing, I think, MySpace, stuff like that. He was like, all these things he was talking about it. And he was like, Facebook is new. And we should be a part of this right here, and we can do this right here. And me and my friends, we were like, man, that sounds crazy. I'm like, man, we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing. What we're doing is working. That don't make any sense. He talking about some Facebook. He talking about meeting people. Because in my mindset, I'm like, we used to rolling up to people at the gas stations, talking to people at the stores. We used to onesies and twosies, but he was talking about how you can use social media, and how from social media you can find people all over the world, and how you can actually build people everywhere. All right, that's what he was talking about. But as he was talking about that, I'm like, man, get out of here. That don't make no sense. He talking about some so. I'm like, he's talking about social media, talking about Facebook. Man, that joker, Coach AB, we went to this event. That joker had the most people in the room, more people joining. And now he's on our team, but I'm like, yo, now I'm like this. Now I'm like, he like, yeah. Now prior to that, because I always teach this, I always say there's four levels of listening: listening to, listening at, listening with, and listening for. Listening to, listening at, listening with, listening for is the highest level of listening. That means when somebody's saying anything, you're listening for. And at that point, up until that point, I'm laughing and giggling. He talking about that don't make no sense. But because I was slow to adapt to new technology, to what was going on, I missed the opportunity. Now again, but I'm the type of person that once I realize what I missed, I will jump in quick and say, okay, let me get ahead and see how I can participate in that process. Now, why I say that? Because once he told that to me, I was able to utilize what he gave. I went to another event. I went to that event and I saw another guy who actually had went to that event. And he at this event, it was like top leaders again. And Jim had came to the event. He had all these people. He talking about how he sponsored this many people in a short period of time. And I'm like, pull him to the side. I said, listen, how do you find all these people? How do you sponsor so many people? How do you make so much money so fast? And he said, I use this thing you just call Facebook. I said, I heard of Facebook. He said, well, I teach it, and this is what I did. So what did you do? I said, teach me exactly. I'm asking him questions I can listen for. So he told me what he did, and I started applying instantly what he did. And he actually created this book, right? Like maybe about a year, 2 years later, and actually became a contributing author in the book. You know why? It's because I used what he told me. I incorporated it into what I was doing. I became a multi six-figure income earner at the time, utilizing Facebook, because I understood clearly that once you understand that you can actually adapt to new technology. You can adapt to this next space. You can actually grow yourself. You can have creative thinking, and you can incorporate that. You have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to adapt to it, and you have to be willing to adapt to change. That's why creative thinking is important. Now, realistic thinking, as he said, recognizing the importance of realistic thinking. Now, realistic thinking is basically just grounding your plans and ideas in practicality and feasibility, assessing the risk and the benefits to make balanced decisions. That's what we say realistic, right? But also realistic thinking, when I'm telling you, you have to understand realistic thinking not really being what I like to call, people like to say, well, I'm a realist. And in their mindset, realist means they don't believe nothing works. That's like me saying just now when a guy told me about social media, and I'm like, I'm a realist. That don't work. People, you can't meet people online. You got to meet people based belly to belly. Now, being a realist, I would have kept on with that nonsense. But having realistic thinking, I can ground my plans and ideas in practicality. And I want you to learn you can have a realistic thinking. And I want you to, like, in other words, I know when we say we're going to be big in this business, sometimes our thinking can be so big about what we can do. And we thinking in a time frame, well, I'm going to do $1 million. I'm going to do it in 3 months. And when you have not sponsored nobody in in 2 weeks or a month, you think it's not working. So in your mindset, your realistic thinking got you thinking, well, if I haven't made $1 million ever in my life, I haven't even done six figures in my life, but now I haven't done it in this company or in this business in the last 3 months, then it must be another thing I got to do. I got to do something different. No, you are you no matter where you go. So when you over here being distracted, you be over there being distracted. Yeah, you can go someplace else and you can, from the hype and the pompous and everything. Oh, we over here. Everybody come over here. And when people join, people buy products. When they buy products, you hit ranks. And when you hit ranks, you're able to, from your excitement, you tell everybody. But after that, you run out of your existing network. Now you still got to be into your creative thinking. You still got to go talk to people. So no matter what you do, where you go do it, you can start off great anywhere. But unless you understand it's connected to your thinking, how you're thinking, what you're attached to in your thinking, and understanding that when you recognize the importance of realistic thinking, you base your stuff on practicality and feasibility, and you assess risks and benefits, assess risk and benefits. Is a small risk, the benefits outweigh the small investment. And I feel, and for us, there really ain't no risk when it comes to the investment of products that you're using on a daily basis. So there's no risk when you're going to use a product to keep your system regular. There's no risk when you're using products that you can actually take to keep your body operating at optimal levels. There's no risk if you already know that you're gaining weight and that weight is going out of control. And now, normally, when most people start to gain weight, they start having more pressure on their knees and pressure on their bodies, and other things is happening. They can't enjoy a great meal because they bloated quick and eat. So using products can help. There's no risk in that process, no big risk. And even if you say, well, I don't got the money for that, I'm telling people there's so many different things you can do to generate some additional revenue and income to invest in what you want. So if you say, well, I don't have it because I'm struggling. Well, how long you want to live like that? How long do you want to be in a realistic thinking space of where you say, well, I'm a realist and I can't, well, we're already struggling. See, it's okay to be broke. It's not okay to stay that way. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Hold 1 second. I think my grandson is knocking on my door. Give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Come on. I'm on my call. Thanks. I apologize. I apologize for that. You good? All right, man. They ain't get ready for I get you up in the morning for school. All right, love you, man. My apologies for that. All right. So the thing is, guys, when it comes to this process of you having realistic thinking, I want you to ground it and understand where you are, but assess risk and benefits. Because now, once you do that, the strategic thinking. When I said what I say about that, I said realizing the power of strategic thinking. Power is not granted. Power is assumed. Write that down. Power is not granted. Power is assumed. And you must assume the power. You must assume it. Stop waiting for somebody to give you something. Just assume it. Yes, it'll be great. It's always great. I hear about all the things that people get. Somebody always doing something for somebody else. Somebody's giving people to people and helping people to grow and doing stuff. And it's always great. And you sometimes you wish it would. I wish I had some of that. I wish I had somebody to take care of me. I wish that we all wish it, but sometimes it's not so. So you have to have strategic thinking yourself. You have to have a long-term vision, setting clear, actionable steps, aligning all your resources, the people, the products, the calls, aligning all your resources and efforts to achieve whatever desired outcome that you want efficiently. When you're being strategic, it's about efficiency. It's not just throwing a bunch of stuff out there, it's being strategic. So I say to you this: when it comes to how you think about calls, how you think about training, how you think about the company, how you think about product, how you think about yourself, how you think about your situation, how you think about these things, but how it's all good, but you still have to plan long-term visions and set clear goals for long term, but also many goals, many blocks, many things that you do along the way to set yourself up along the way. You have to do the many things to set yourself up along the way. That means we get paid in most companies when it comes to entrepreneurship. Some people get paid weekly, some people get paid monthly, but you can get paid daily. What's your daily goal? What's a goal that you're going to accomplish on a daily basis? Stop letting days go by and you don't have an intention on that. Man, I've invested so much money into traditional businesses, offices, paying office staff in the office, rent. I mean, I put over the years I invested tens of thousands of dollars over the years. I mean, just so much stuff that I'm putting out that required money coming from a a business, something else I had, or work, or something else, because the business wasn't up and running yet. Business wasn't even producing yet. Or I'm spending money in these businesses, and the businesses are not. I'm not even making money in the businesses. But I got all this overhead and all this other stuff. And we in a space right now that when I'm doing stuff, I'm like, yo, I have to produce. I have to find ways of generating income daily so that my business can pay for the business and I'm not paying for it from other things that I'm doing. I don't want to take away money from if I was working a job and I had a business taking money from my job to keep. Sometimes in the very beginning you do that, but 2 or 3, 4 years and your business is not. Now you're putting together the infrastructure. I get it, but once it's time to make money, you got to go make some money. You have to talk to people. You have to align your resources, and we have so many great resources to help you succeed. Number 6 was possibility thinking, feeling the energy of possibility thinking. What's possible? As a coach, I always tell people this, and I want you to write this down. I say, new moment, new possibility. New moment, new possibility. With a new moment, I can create a new possibility. It don't matter what was. New moment, new possibility. But there's an energy because with possibility comes hope, and hope is the only thing that's stronger than fear. With possibility cultivates optimism, and people can be optimistic when they believe that something is possible. When your mindset starts to explore new opportunities and new ways and new people and new environments, it's something happens. It challenges all of your limitations when you embrace the potential growth ideas in areas of your life and all these other things. What I'm saying, because it's possibility. But you have to know with possibility, nothing is impossible when I am possible. And when I am possible, nothing becomes impossible. So, what are you going to do with possibility? When you start to know that all things are possible, all things, not some things, a few things, here and there things, all things are possible for those who believe. But belief is a muscle. You have to exercise that muscle. So, in that process of exercising that muscle, what are you going to do with that possibility thinking? Number 7 was reflective thinking, embracing the lessons of reflective thinking, embracing the lessons of reflective thinking. That means take time to analyze your past experiences, how you can improve future actions based on the past. Learn from the successes and failures that you've gone through to enhance the decision that you're making. Like, for instance, there was a time when, like I said, like just now, like my kids know, I tell them, my sister, I do a call that I have at certain times. Make sure that my grandson is in, because my grandson stays with me, right? So my daughter may have her, my daughter may pick up her son. He stays right around the corner, but she goes to work early in the morning. So when she leaves to work, he stays here. It's been like that for years. I get him up, take him to school in the morning time, take him to the bus stop. So he'll catch the bus, all sort of stuff, right? So normally they know to be stable. My kids they've been knowing me for years, how I've been doing calls for years. They know there's a time that I do calls in. And there was a time when when they would come or somebody knock on the door, I'd be like, I start it's a natural thing when they actually start knocking on the door, you be like, start biting your bottom lip. You be like, man, they know I'm doing my call. Why you embarrassing me, trying to shame me, trying to make me cry? You know what I'm saying? You feel like I'm like, yo, I feel like little man trying to make me cry. I'm like, come on, you know I do my calls at this time. You know I'm doing what I do at this time. Why would you? Wow. And I used to get upset about that, Coach Catherine. I used to be like, you see how I got no hair? You know why? I had to pull it. I had to pull out. I had to pull it out. I had to have dreads. I used to get mad and upset. But now I'm like, hold on a second, guys. My grandson, let me get over here real quick. I see. I said, hold on a second. And I just roll off. I got. You good? I could get in school in the morning. Okay, talk to you later. All right, bye. When there's a time that I would lose it, but that comes to personal growth, personal development, how I look at a thing, how I grow through a thing. So I say that to you guys because I want you to recognize the same thing for yourself. Your reflective thinking helps you to reflect on how you look at a thing, how you move through a thing, how you show up with a thing. But also reflective. I want you to know that mentorship is wisdom without waiting. When you have a chance to be mentored by somebody who's doing what it is you want to do, they've been through some things, you can learn. So you can learn. You see, you can you can learn from other people's mistakes, right? And by LFOPM, learn from other people's mistakes. That means when your coach or your guide gives you strategies, systems, things like that, you can compress time. That means you don't have to mess these things up. But still, you have to reflect. You have to take what you're going through in your life and reflect. How many times did I do those same things? How many times did I how I will this is how I always will respond to this, which is why I always got the same results. And until you learn to reflect and grow, because there's some people who at my age, they're my age and they still make the same decisions that they made when they was 20. I can still see how they talk to their kids. They talk to their grandkids the same way they talk to their kids, great grandkids the same, because they're the same person. But I'm like, yo, oh, you guys probably seen the memes they'll see you'll see like a video where the grandmother or the grandkid is talking to the grandbaby, or the grandmother talking to grandkids, and the child is like in the corner mad. Do them how you do us. Talk to them the way you talk. They mad, but the grandparents have grown over the years. We reflect back to how we may have been mean. We reflect back to how we didn't have any patience. We reflect back to when we would lose it, and I'd be short tempered. Sometimes I reflect back and I would get a tear in my eye because I would think about how I would be sitting there and I'm like, damn, I didn't have the patience I should have had as a dad. But also with business, I reflect back to the times that when someone would give me the strategy and they would tell me, stop paying attention to this. And I go, yeah, but let me tell you, I hate you, but let me tell you, I understand, but let me tell you how I do. And I remember there was a coach and there was a mentor that I had one time before. And every time he would talk, I would always, yeah, yeah, I understand. Every time he would say, he'd give a strategy. Yeah, because and I'm just talking and running my damn mouth. Yeah, yap, yap, yap. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know you're talking about because let me tell you, instead of listening, every time he talk, I got, yeah, yeah, I know you're talking about, yeah, I know you're talking about, yeah, 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 yeah. I hear you. Then he told me, he said, well, if you know it, he said, well, let me ask you this question, Miss Scott. He said, if you know it, why you ain't do it? If you know it so much, you know it so good the way you say you know it, how come your paycheck is not a reflection of it? I was like this. And it was a bunch of people around. I wasn't like I didn't even let myself go. How dare you talk to me in such well, I was out of the play. I could have easily tried to let myself be there, but I had to be like, you know what, you talk too damn much. Your coach is literally giving you the plays. He's helping you to learn from his mistakes. He's giving you what to do next, and you literally keep trying. You literally keep on trying to add your thinking. Your thinking plus his thinking has gotten you the results that you got. Utilize his thinking so you can have the results that he got. So I stopped trying to. I started focusing in on what he was doing and how he was doing it, and the results that he was having. And that's when greater things started happening. So I want you yourself that when you actually start reflecting, what are you reflecting on? How do you normally reflect on how you show up in a situation, how easily you quit, or how when your coach or mentor gives you the game plan and gives you the plays, do you run it? I'm looking at the time. We're almost wrapping it up. All right. Then, of course, embracing the lessons of reflective thinking, and then questioning the acceptance of popular thinking. Popular thinking. Now, this is where a lot of people right now they're seeing they're seeing that a lot of people are doing all types of things, right? And they seen on social media all these different things that seem like it's the popular thing to do. So because in their mindset, they see everybody moving, the question is, are you thinking of all the things we talked about already? Are you thinking about how you normally make results, how you've been showing up? Have you really given it your all? Have you really been listening? Have you been watching a bunch of people's lives so you never have really been alive in your own business? So when you're watching other people and you're thinking that the popular thinking has gotten you to where you're starting to say, okay, is this their popular thinking or is it popular for myself and my group? When you learn to critically evaluate commonly accepted ideas and beliefs, critically evaluate them, the popular thinking. Now, I say it in this way. I'm not thinking about just the people you see, but I'm thinking about how life has prepared you for stuff. And I think about it in this way. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can determine what a man will think, you will never have to compel him to seek an inferior status because he will seek one himself. If you can determine what a man will think, you will never have to compel him to seek an inferior status because he will seek one himself. And with the popular thinking, that's why I said you have to develop independent thinking and question assumptions and norms because people have been making you believe that you're supposed to stop and start, have multiple streams and multiple trickles, and they've been trying to tell you all these things over the years. And people who have never had success are trying to give you ideas on what success is like, and they jump around company to company, and in your mindset you believe that that's what you got to do. I got to jump around from thing to thing to thing. I got to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, not even my bank account. You have to pay attention of how you critically evaluate all these things that seem like they accepted ideas and beliefs. I don't want to, I'm tired of, I'm looking for people who are deadly serious about what they want to do. People who are serious about success. If I'm looking at the track record of people that I want to partner with, I'm looking for people who I see got that have resiliency. They can stand the test of time. They're not jumping around all the time. They because each time you want to do something new, everything sounds good, and people will make you believe that what you're doing is the wrong thing in order for you to come. We all have done it. We all have had conversations so people can make a decision to feel that that is the wrong thing to do over there. But you yourself, like I talked to somebody today, of like I'm thinking that maybe now they're not part of what I always talk to different people based on what they got going on. And I'm like, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. Well, I'm thinking this right here, and I'm thinking that maybe I got to do this, and I'm thinking over, and I'm like, I already know you're just seeing everybody else. You're not even. I didn't said to you many times, reach out to me so we can have a conversation because I know I can help shape and give them some stuff, but they haven't. They're not part of my organization, the team, but I like helping people that I can help. But I know they're watching everybody. Instead of watching themselves and focusing on the thinking I'm talking about right now, they're not thinking about nothing we're talking about. They're watching everybody else. Which causes them to actually think that the popular thinking they're seeing for everybody else must be the thinking they have to do for themselves. But they're overlooking the fact that the people that they're looking at then did 10 different companies in the last 3, 4 years, or 4 or 5 different things they've done, or 6, 7 things. And they'll be like, well, I'm gonna go ahead but the hype and all this other stuff will have you in that space. Or people are, well, I'm going to get over here because I don't want to miss out the opportunity. Well, the opportunity is right where you are, right where no matter what the company you're with, just lock in and keep looking across companies and other companies and looking, but also even in the company you're with, work with the coaches and the mentors that you're connected to and stop trying to get coaching from 20 different coaches and mentors at the same time and each person, because everybody got ways of how they can succeed with their groups and teams. And as you keep thinking that, well, I can take the best of everybody. You don't know what the best of everybody is. Most of us, we don't. Most times we look at what we think is the best, but we're really looking at what aligns with what we want to do. What's something that's easy for me and what I like to do because it's easier that way. Or I feel better doing this than that. So in our mindset, we're taking all this stuff, but I always tell people we don't do just what works, we do what duplicates. So when you're evaluating the popular thinking, I want you to develop independent thinking. I tell people to do it. I literally will tell you, don't just take my word for it. Go online and do this right here. I give people resources that they can check out. I'll always say go find other resources because I want people to be thinkers. I'm looking for business partners. I'm not looking for employees. I'm not looking for I want people who can bring value to the organization. So I'm giving you value so you can become more valuable, but you have to be a person that's constantly growing and adding value. You got to take information and value that somebody give you, and then you grow on and use that information, and you can go on and do great things yourself. Become somebody different yourself because you've gotten value, you utilize the value, you created value, now you become more valuable. Number 8, as we start to wrap it up, was questioning the acceptance of popular thinking was 8. Number 9 was encourage the participation of shared thinking. Shared thinking. That's where we come together as an organization. That's where we come together as a team. That's where we come together as thinking in this leadership academy space, in this unity, you and I together space, in this 2.0 space, in this space of where you are right now in your life and in your business, the shared thinking. Write this down. A leader's vision has to be bigger and greater than those that he leads. But even in that great vision that you have to take what everybody have different visions and versions of leadership. As I said before, your job to attach your vision and version of leadership to their vision and version of leadership through your coaching and training and working. You pull their vision and version closer to your vision and version of leadership. But everybody have this collective thinking of success, a shared vision of greatness. Write that down. We have a shared vision of greatness. Inside each and every one of us are the cellular memories of generations of survivors and fighters, and those who have died and those who would not die so that we could be free. People giving their lives for us to be free thinkers. People giving their lives for us to collaborate, to innovate. So we have shared thinking, collaborate with others, leverage personalities and perspectives and strengths. Build a culture of teamwork and open communication. That's the space that I'm in. That's the space that you want to be a part of. That's the space where you bring your level, bring who you are. But you have to understand it's a collaboration. It's not competition. I'm looking to collaborate, and I want people to have a shared thinking, a shared vision of greatness. I want it to be where it becomes a habitual vision of greatness. It's like a habit that you believe so much more for yourself. Number 10, experiencing the satisfaction of unselfish thinking. Unselfish thinking is when you like prioritize the needs and the benefits of others inside of all the decision making process. See, when I'm unselfish, I'm like, I'll talk to somebody, they'll say, well, this we are going to, well, just show me. Let me see how we can incorporate that. Let me see how we can bring that into the fold. Or they'll say, well, I'm thinking that maybe you might can use this right here. I'm like, oh, great. I can see how I can do that. Let me see how we can make this. Because I want people to feel that they bring value. But I want to foster a sense of community and support and consider the entire well-being of everybody because it's not about self. This thing that we do right here, guys, it's about being significant. And significance is about everybody. Success is about self. Significance It's about others. Helping other people get what they want, you get yours in the process. We've heard it many times. Focus on helping people succeed, helping people to get what they want to get. Focusing on people other than just focus, just stop thinking about how it can benefit you. How can it be mutually beneficial? But it has to be the right sense of community and support. But I want you to know that I prioritize the needs and the benefits of the group by you being incorporated into the decision-making process of the group, of the team, of the organization. That's how you want to be when it comes to thinking. Again, this is John C. Maxwell. I'm telling you from one of the talks that he was doing, as he was doing, I'm like, yo, I said, I like this concept. And he starts to help me think. And the last thing is bottom line thinking. We said enjoying the return of bottom line thinking. Everything that I teach, so I always say a lot of times, talk about ROI, return on investment. I want to make sure that you have bottom line thinking. Focus on the results and outcomes to measure success effectively. I want there to be quantifiable evidence of what it is. The bottom line is, are you successful? The bottom line is, are you having many wins, micro wins? Bottom line is, are you having the success that you want to have for yourself and your family? Are you earning income? Are you growing yourself? Are you growing your organization? Are you growing your team? You got to make sure in bottom line thinking that you ensure that all your actions, they align with all your goals and your team's goals, and they deliver tangible results and tangible benefits. Because the bottom line is we're in business. And the bottom line with us being in business, we want to have success and we want people to actually win. So I want to just share those things with you guys because I wanted you to think, like I said, I want you to have another level of thinking. Vision is what you envision, but with that vision, it's not just fanciful, wishful thinking. It's really understanding there's ways of how you have to learn to think, how you have to learn to grow yourself, how you have to learn to stretch your imagination past your situation. Because I want each and every person on this call to be able to bring value to themselves, value to the organization, value to the world. If you say that this is your time, you say this is your company, it's your opportunity, you have a chance to be a leader here, be that leader. Be that person of value. Be that person of change. Be it. Stop waiting for other people to be it. Stop watching from the sidelines. Stop being a cheerleader and be it. There's so much more inside of you. There's so much more. We have the capacity that we can become so much more. And most people they just lounge in their mediocrity. If you stay in you just stay there in your mediocrity, you're gonna call it fate. And when you just allow yourself to stay and you don't step into your greatness and you just stay in your mediocrity, I'm great. Well, step into your greatness. Because if you don't step into your greatness, you're gonna stay in your mediocrity and you're gonna call it fate. And you're gonna say it's fate that this happens, and it's fate that this is going on, and it must be fate, but it's more than that. I want you to know that things have shown up in your life have prepared you for moments such as this. Fate may have gotten you to where you are right now, may have shown you and gotten you to the position where you are, but now that you're here, what are you going to do? What are you going to really do, Coach AB? What are you going to really do, Coach Catherine? What are you going to do, Coach Corey? What are you going to do, Cedric? What are you going to really do right now? What are we going to do? What are we going to do, Sean? What are we going to do, Peggy? What are we going to do right now? I want us to become so much more. Anyway, guys, as we wrap up to our Sunday Night Vision Match Call, do have any leader have any comment, statement, anything you want to share before we're done? If we can, you can open your mics, let me see, Coach AB. Coach AB, go ahead and share, young lady.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Scott. First off, I want to say thank you for allowing me to share. This was such a powerful conversation. It was more than just a teaching, it was a conversation of wisdom. And I like how you wrapped up this evening. Basically, I'm a firm believer, and we can get on as many calls, get on as many trainings, go to as many conferences as we can. But if we do nothing with what we've been fed, we're just getting fat off of knowledge and we're producing zero. So I thank you for sharing this with us, having this conversation, because no matter what we see around us, we can either let the distract us, distractions keep us in a box, or we can break out and be our authentic selves. I can't be you, you can't be me. And we just have to walk in our power. So I thank you so much, sir. Back to you.
No doubt, really. Well, I appreciate it and stuff, and everything is really based off of that. It's based off of decisions, and this deciding is a conscious thought. And anything less reduces us to levels of almost an animal with less to deal with, because animals are instinctually sound, and we trade off instinct for intellect. And we believe we're so much intellectual. We think we're so much smarter than the animals. Then why are we not growing at the capacity? We're supposed to be evolving. In order to evolve, you got to get involved. And once you get involved with all the things we're talking about, how you're thinking, how you're showing up, how you believing, that's when the trueness of who you really are will start to be revealed. I appreciate you, young lady. Thanks a lot for sharing. Have anybody else have any last minute comments, statements, anything you want to share before we done?
Yeah, great evening.
Yes, ma'am. Take it away, Coach.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Coach Jason. Thank you, Coach AB. Yeah, this is really, really good. Perfect timing. You know, God is never late, always on time. I went to a service this morning in church, and the pastor was talking about you have to go out and grab it. You have to go and get what you need to get. It's not just going to come to you. And so, you know, he was saying, okay, well, if it's meant to be, it's up to you, not just say, okay, well, whatever happens, happens. Well, if you say whatever happens, happens, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. You
Mhm.
have to have intentions, right? So, this was really good. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you as well, young lady. And as I wrap up the call, guys, I want to tell everybody, listen, we got to become inoculated and anointed with the belief of magnificence. You have to know, man, you're destined for so much more than what we're currently going through. We're destined for so much more, but you have to inoculate, insulate yourself with the belief of magnificence. And I believe in each and every one of you. I promise you I do. So always remember, given the sum total of all your decisions, you cannot change who you are, but given new life, new vision, new unity, you can change who you become. So with that today, not tomorrow or next week, but like right now, let's all just become. You guys have a great and a powerful new you. Good night, everybody. See you guys soon.